you ever regretted doing something when you were in the heat of the moment? Ever look back and realize a little bit of constraint, a second of hesitation, a simple deep breath and a walk away could have saved you a whole plethora of trouble, could have saved you and others from a bunch of unnecessary pain, unnecessary suffering. Well, in order to be clear-minded, in order to create a life situation that we truly desire, we must take control of our minds. We must create a separation from what we are and the egoic mind. The ego is not what we are. It is a weak and limited representation of our outer persona, but don't underestimate it. Left unchecked, left to operate by its own limited system, the ego can and it will control you completely. And the gag is, you won't even be aware that it's controlling you. This is the thing. It's not only important to recognize the ego within you, within us, it's equally important to identify it in others. That moment of pause that we spoke about a bit earlier is the ability to do just that, to be able, in the midst of anger, in the midst of any unfavorable exchange, to pause. Pause and choose the proper action rather than simply reacting, or in other words, check your ego. Check your ego that is trying to tango with another's ego. Or in other words, recognizing that another's ego has full control over them, just as occasionally it does us. Thus, they have no idea what they're saying, no idea as to what they're doing. They're literally in a trance, temporarily hypnotized, under the influence, drunk with the instruction, drunk with the guidance, with the emotion of an upside-down thought system. An upside-down thought system that we affectionately refer to as the egoic mind. If you can see it in yourself, you will be able to see it in another. That separation between you and it will enable you to take control of any situation. You will be able to choose a better response, a response that hopefully will quell most damage and possibly stop any damage from happening at all. For a moment, let's look back at situations in our lives that could have been handled better by us, situations that could have been de-escalated or even walked away from if we had recognized that the other person couldn't help themselves, that the ego in them was creating anger just as it was creating it in us. Image yourself in these situations pausing for a moment, and while letting the ego's fire burn us up inside, we still resist it. We still resist it and choose a better response to the event. A response that will ensure us that actions rendered in that moment will result in the most peaceful and the most desirable future possible. Find a safe, quiet place to image yourself, not being the bigger person, that's the language of the ego. Just being what we all are, minus the delusion of the egoic mind. With the aid of binaural meditation tones, let's begin manifesting a future of understanding, a future of awareness of the ego in us as well as it in others. See yourself, feel yourself living, loving, inner joying, the separation between you and the illusory self. If you have not already, slip on a set of stereo headphones, sit back, relax, and get ready to start the process of converting upside down thoughts right side up. In 4, 3, 2, 1, into the woods.